Okay. I think my mic's working now. Yay! Why did OBS change my chat window? I don't like that one bit. Microphone, please. Can you, like... What is going on here, buddy? What are you doing? There we go. I fixed my mic. Ugh. Just drop it. Just drop the mic. Welcome to the stream. I'm your host. I mean, there's no one else. But hello? Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna. I guess I could draw still. I need to do something while I stream. I don't got much to talk about right now. Still thinking of the topics of the day. Oh no, what could I even talk about? Has Been Hotel just released? That'd be fun to talk about. Fun to do some chatting. Have fun with it, you know. Videos are still being made. I'm still working on videos. By the way, 10K is pretty crazy. I was not expecting such a silly video to get that many views, so thank you guys. But yeah. Audrey? Hello? What are you doing? She's yelling at me again. What happened to my chat screen? I can't see chat at all. Chat, please. So, okay, the chat's just gone now. Crap. Where's my chat? What have you done, OBS? Hey, hang on. One day I'll find it. Don't worry. One of these days. There we go. Found it. Yay. Oh. Okay. Still blank. Cool. Thanks, OBS. What did you do? Why is it just all white? Great start, as usual. I love when stuff just happens and I'm just like stuck in the mud, like not sure how to like handle it. Oh my god. Audrey, gosh, do you have to add to the chaos, my dude? Do you have to add to the chaos? We could just have a normal stream for once, but there's always got to be something. Hang on. Let me Google some stuff. OBS, please. Oh. I'll just keep the chat up on my phone. Otherwise, OBS is just gonna say no chat for you. What's up, Audrey? I could just chat with Audrey. That would actually be very sad. Just talking to my cat, as usual. But yeah, no, for real. I was not expecting Gail's boots to do so well. I really appreciate it. For the love on that video. I typically don't ever expect things to hit a certain amount, but that's my most viewed video ever. And I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Of course it was like a Baldur's Gate video, but like like it had to be the goofiest video I've ever made in my entire life. I was like, as soon as I uploaded it, I was like, I had regret, you know, those regrets. I was like, oh no, what if this is like, is this too cringy? Is this too silly? I kind of feel that way a lot. I'm like, am I gonna like, is this cool? Are people gonna like this? I kind of always have doubt after I upload a video. I kind of immediately regret it sometimes. I'm like, did I do well? Is it good? And at one point, you just can't ask that question anymore. You just gotta upload it and see, because you won't know until you upload it and see what people think of it. And for the most part, you know, I really appreciate all the love on that video. Hi, Arrow. I have to look at the chat on my phone, unfortunately, because OBS completely imploded my chat. It's just completely a blank square. So I'm just gonna look at it on my phone. But thank you for joining the stream. Welcome. I gotta do something about the chat window. I'll figure it out probably later, because the chat on my phone works, but yeah, I don't know what OBS did or what it didn't do. Oh gosh, now it's literally not even there. Oh gosh, thanks OBS, appreciate ya. It's okay. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Oh gosh. The status? I didn't need to know the status. I didn't need to know my frames per second. I need to know why my chat window is gone. Oh my gosh, OBS. What is going on? Please. You got... Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna stop messing with it, honestly. At this point, I don't want to, like, accidentally end the stream early and, like, accidentally just exit out of everything I've been doing, because it's such a pain in the butt to get the stream started up again and, like, do all the you know, stuff for it. But yeah. Great start. Something always goes wrong. As soon as I hit start streaming, something happens. Something. This time no chat. I'll just have to keep looking down. That's okay. You know what? It happens. It is what it is. Also gonna change this just chatting screen soon. I don't mind the art, but I kind of want to update it with my more modern art style. Like, or modern. Like, I made this in, like, the olden days. Like, I made this 20 years ago. Like, no, I mean, like, I guess my more, you know, refined art style. I should draw it in. Maybe I'll even make it a different character this time. I'll probably still keep Ray on here. I've been thinking about streaming other things, like other potentially games. Definitely Baldur's Gate, because I think that would be super fun to stream. Have to give some warnings beforehand, but I think most people kind of know it's not exactly like a family-friendly game, so I'll see what happens. Honestly don't know if I'm even doing that yet. I don't even know if I can run it. I play on the PlayStation primarily, so I'd have to get it for Steam, and it'd be a lot of work. But I don't mind either way. You know, I'm not one to turn down anything that would be fun for streaming. Especially something different, something to do, you know. If any case, I'd at least like to play something like Skyrim or something. I think that would be incredibly fun. Now, last time I tried to stream a game, it went horribly wrong. I tried to stream Minecraft. I did that like one stream, and then I gave up on it. And I think it's just because I think the pressure maybe the stress of the stream just kind of turned me away from doing video games at all. But as I'm kind of warming back up to video games and playing them more, I think I'd love to give it a chance. I'd love to give it a try. Baldur's Gate may run completely badly, though. It might go like 1 frame per second, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see. I'll see if I can handle it. I'll see if my computer can handle it. If so, I think that would be really, really fun. I guess I could still do it on this channel. I mean, I do have another channel that I kind of want to start doing gaming videos on. And I think that would be really fun, but I feel like I'd kind of need to conjure up an audience before I do that. And I think on that channel, I have like just a couple subscribers. It's like nothing, not really anything's on there yet. And considering how long it takes to build up stuff on YouTube, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be forever. And plus, running a second YouTube channel, I can hardly handle running one. But I do think it would be kind of interesting to maybe try it at one point. Also, I don't know how much the chat is delayed on YouTube versus OBS, so if I'm delaying talking back or responding to messages, I'm so sorry. I will try to figure out afterwards why OBS is not letting me see the chat. Very unfortunate. Maybe I just have to update it. It keeps telling me to update it. Maybe it was really upset at me saying no to updating for the 15th time, and it's like, no, you gotta update. You gotta do this or we take away the chat. I don't know. Something like that. It usually it's probably an easy fix. I probably just have to update it. I just get really lazy and I always press, oh, I'll do that later. Like anytime my phone's like, you got an update, I'm like, I'll do it later. And then it's like 2 weeks later and I still haven't done it yet. It takes like 5 minutes of my time, yet I just can't bring myself to update ever on time. Like if my computer needs to update, I'll be like, oh, that sucks. Okay. do it later. Delay sucks sometimes. It does. I hope this isn't delayed too much. Hopefully not. I actually don't even know how fast the OBS chat is because I actually primarily used OBS chat. It'll pop up in a window separate from the like the actual OBS window where I can see my screen, I can see my audio input and my desktop audio, kind of how I adjust things, also how I go from screen to screen and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think for the most part I'll just have to update it. I'll just bite the bullet and update it as it goes. As it was, so it is now, or whatever that one character says. Anyway, I'm just talking about all sorts of things today. Baldur's Gate is primarily on my mind, but I'm not just gonna be talking about Baldur's Gate. I'll talk about basically anything. I'm just kind of rolling with the flow. Hazbin Hotel came out. I've already seen some of Hazbin Hotel. That's pretty cool. Definitely really fun show. I like the animation. Love the songs. Some of them are good. There's some songs I didn't really enjoy particularly, but they're not bad. They're just not my style. The show really goes with a whole lot of different kinds of songs. Some are like pop music. Some are more like old fashioned. Particularly love that one song in episode 2. I'll try to keep spoilers. Obviously, I won't spoil anything that happens in the show. I won't, go over any major plot points or anything. Just my general thoughts. Really nice. Good animation. Love the voices. I think most of the voice actors do a phenomenal job of reprising the roles of these characters. Not reprising, I guess, but taking on the roles of these characters since the voice actors all changed from the pilot. And while I love a lot of the original voice actors, and I don't think that I do think that some of them were better in some aspects, I do also think that the new voice actors are doing a wonderful job. And I feel kind of bad for them because I know they probably got a lot of hate for being, changing the voices and stuff like that. But unfortunately, with the contracts they were assigned and with voice actor contracts and stuff like that, you do have to be in part of certain unions and stuff. And so I can see how that overlap. I'm sorry. What is this song? Why does it sound like I just went into battle? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It sounds like I just aggroed an enemy. I'm going into battle. I'm going into war, man. What is this? Please, something lighter. Oh my gosh. Gosh, that was so funny. I just started paying attention to the music. Has it always been just like a crazy song at the end? What is that? Anyway, crap, I lost my train of thought. Okay, I was talking about the voice actor stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so far I like it. In general, so far I like it. I think the voices do a great job. I think the songs are nice. There's definitely some issues with the show. I will say, I feel like it goes by pretty fast, kind of like the pilot. There's definitely a lot of fast pacing and stuff. And I've only seen the first 3 episodes. I haven't seen the 4th one yet. But yeah, it's good so far. I like it. I actually really like it. I'm excited to see where it goes. I know, as far as indie animation, I think it's pretty amazing that it's even gotten this far. The fact that really a pilot on YouTube got turned into its own cartoon series production with one of the biggest animation studios, with one of the biggest streaming people right now. Like, Amazon Prime's really rising up in ranks with streaming. Like, they've got a lot of good shows on there, like Good Omens and stuff. Oh man, I still gotta watch Good Omens. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. Even if one may not enjoy Has Been Hotel's premise or pilot or whatever, even if you don't really enjoy the show that much, I do think it's still an incredible achievement for indie animation to get that far. Same with The Amazing Digital Circus getting 200 million views on YouTube. Like, that's crazy, dude. Even Murder Drones wasn't that popular, I don't think. It's crazy to see how much indie animation is growing and changing. Gives me hope one day I'll be able to do my own stuff. Maybe. If I stop playing Baldur's Gate. Ghost Mask is still being worked on. Trust me, it is. Taking a break from it has kind of helped, I think. Give me some more inspiration. Give me some more ideas. Plus, playing a game with such a good story, I think, helps give me a bit of inspiration, encouragement, to write my own story someday. If even not animated, I still want to make my own stories. I still want to write them or put them out in some form. I was hoping comic. I'm still working on a little Ghost Mask comic just to kind of test the waters with it. It's sort of one of those things where I'm just kind of dipping my foot in, seeing how it's going to go, seeing if people like it, seeing if it really goes anywhere, stuff like that. And so far, I so far so good, I think. I mean, I've had maybe 10 panels of it done. Comics do unfortunately take a while, so it will be a long time before I can actually show much of it. Especially because I want to keep I want to keep some form of weekly release for it, and I'd like to try and kind of get caught up on panels before I do that. That way I'm not going weeks without a new chapter or a new update to the comic. So I'm kind of seeing how that's gonna go. Definitely going to be fun. Definitely going to see what happens. Not sure yet, but with anything, time is of the essence, and so I'll in due time things will start to change. As far as other videos, still working on some videos. Working on a little bit of Baldur's Gate video. Working on kind of an animatic for it. One of my favorite characters. I really, in general, love all the games that have been coming out lately. I haven't played a whole lot of them other than Baldur's, of course, but it's been last year was such a good year for games, dude. They had so many good games. I still haven't tried out Starfield, though. I mean, I heard some things about it. I heard something, which is really unfortunate because my favorite games have always been Bethesda games. For years, I loved Skyrim and I loved Fallout New Vegas. I mean, those were games that I spent hundreds of hours in. I think I cut well over 1,000 hours into Skyrim over the years. Well over 1,000. Same with Minecraft and stuff. Just games that I really love. Just open world. You can just go wherever. You can do whatever you want. You can do things at your own pace. There's not really a time limit. I love stuff like that. And I really wish Starfield had lived up to the expectations. I haven't played it, but from what I've heard, it hasn't really done a whole lot for people. But, one of those things is just, I guess, maybe lack of innovation. Maybe, perhaps it's just Bethesda's just too behind on the times. Could be a lot of reasons, right? Not really my place to speculate 100%, but hang on, I'm trying to put the music up a little bit. There we go. I am still watching the chat, by the way. Still not sure what's gonna happen with OBS's chat. Would love for it to be fixed, but Ah, the cookie crumbles again. It happens. Alright, I'm gonna start drawing. I'm gonna start drawing a little bit. Start drawing. One of my videos I'm working on is also Ghost Mask related. It will be just a nice little like Ray and Mantis video. Love those two. Love writing them. Really love playing around with new topics to animate, of course, but you know, I don't know. I just after the burnout, I really got completely not overwhelmed, but well, yes, overwhelmed, but I also just kind of lost a lot of the ideas I originally had for animatics, and I just couldn't like anything. I was sitting there. What I do is I listen to music. I kind of walk around a little bit, try and get some semblance of understanding of what I want to be doing, and for some reason, especially during the burnout, I just absolutely could not get it done. I couldn't think of anything. I got complete art block, complete video block, and it was not pleasant. It was not pleasant whatsoever. So really hoping that, especially after the burnout has kind of not gone away necessarily, but it's gotten better, right? I'm feeling a lot more open to drawing. I'm feeling like I'm not as overwhelmed with stuff. There's not as much pressure, because I took that pressure off myself to not have to constantly post videos, you know? And I think once you take that pressure off, it really does help. It really does kind of give you a bit of an easier time to enjoy it, rather than feel like you have to meet a deadline that no one set but yourself, you know? I set deadlines for myself because I felt it was making my videos better. I felt like I was becoming really good at just keeping up with the algorithm, keeping up with ideas, and YouTube doesn't really like inactive channels, so I thought it would help. But it just is overwhelming, and it is for sure not something for everyone. I wasn't overwhelmed at first, of course, because I was like, oh, I'm just having fun making videos. And once you start to make videos and start to put them out there, and then you start to grow, you feel a little bit more of that pressure, because you're like, well, now people are watching. Like, you feel like you don't want to let them down. And I think that's a huge part about why that burnout really affected me, because I was like, I don't want to let people down. I don't want people to wait weeks for videos from me. I gotta start doing them right now. And I think that pressure I put on myself, which that was on me, of course, but it definitely does become, it's one of those feelings that's really weird. You feel like you have to, you know, have something to show for your work. But in reality, art is a medium that takes a lot of time. It is not a medium that you can rush necessarily without it being kind of noticeable. And even if you do rush it, well, what's the point of meeting a deadline if you're not making stuff that you enjoy? You gotta enjoy what you do, because if you don't, then you're just gonna be miserable. And I think that was really important for me to understand, because I really tried to work myself to the bone to constantly put out stuff while also working, while also going to college, and it's just not for me. It's really it's really stressful. But I love making videos, so a good balance to that is not putting that pressure on myself anymore. Just being like, you know what? The video's gonna come out when it's done. It's gonna come out when it's ready. I don't need to make a video every single week. I don't need to make a video every single day. I don't even need to work on videos every single day. I've got other stuff in my life that should, you know, take priority. And if I'd rather get the important stuff out of the way, and then, you know, if I'm feeling like it, you know, I'll draw. I'll enjoy some art. I'll enjoy some drawing. I'll enjoy some video making. So that's kind of how that's been for me. Also, sorry, I change the way I draw Ray every single time now. I'm so sorry. He's always changing. I feel like I just can't, like, I'll show you guys the in-game model at one point, but like, I just can't encapsulate what my model looks like for some reason in art form. I just can't do it. I don't know why. I just, I look at him and I'm like, how do I draw you? How do I draw you? They made the vases very specific. And then I also, like, I don't know. Probably part of it's my skill, my way I draw faces. It's just hard. It's hard sometimes to capture how people are modeled and stuff, especially from a 3D to a 2D perspective. I really don't know how to do that properly. I actually looked it up, and Clip Studio actually has these 3D models that you can use to kind of prop to use for art, and that is really interesting, and that is something I really think I should try using. And I haven't yet, but I will probably give it a try. I've never 3D modeled though, man, and I would love to 3D model someday, but it is like, I've looked at how people 3D model. It is a completely different beast than digital art in general, like 2D digital art. I mean, when I say I was looking at the screen of people 3D modeling and I had no idea what was going on about half the time. I was like, what is this, dude? Like, it's crazy looking. But in general, I think that would really help me with stuff like that. It'd also be cool to just try and 3D model my characters. I think that would actually be really fun. Really difficult, but I don't think I'd ever want Ghost Mask to be a 3D medium either. But I think it'd just be fun to play around in, you know? Try something new, you know, like pottery, you know, or ceramics. Two of the biggest mistakes, by the way, that I've ever made in my life with art is trying to do ceramics. I thought I would be making beautiful vases. Is that the plural for it? Vases? Thought I would be making a pretty little cup to drink for coffee. No. My cup was so flat. I mean, it might as well have been a plate. I can't do ceramics. I can't do 3D art. I can't do like 3D, like real life stuff, you know, like sculpting. I don't know how people do it. It's an art form. It's a beautiful art form, but I don't know how to do it. Same with like stuff like sewing and like knitting, and some people even make stuffed animals. And I'm looking at them and I'm trying to, like, I really wanted to learn how to crochet for a while. And I was looking at it and I was looking at these tutorials and I was like, I don't know where to even begin. Ceramics is scary. Not only do you have to like model this clay to like be able to sit up in a kiln. Is that what it's called? A kiln, I think, or something. And you sit it up and you gotta pray that it doesn't fall over or sink in. But then you also have to heat it up at like explosively high temperatures to the point where if you don't poke holes in it, it's gonna explode and ruin everyone else's projects that are in the kiln. So, yeah, no, I don't like ceramics, man. My mom had bought me when I was maybe like, I was like 11 or something, man. She bought me this pottery set. She bought me this pottery set from like Dollar General, and it had this little itty bitty block of clay, and I mean, and it was like one of those sets that spun. And I tried to make a cup, as you do, because that's everyone's first project is a cup, and my mom tried to bake it in the oven. It just crumbled like dust. I mean, it was so bad. The worst project I have ever done. Oh my god. And I remember like back in like high school and stuff, we were doing that. They made us take an art class where you do everything. Like your first art class as a freshman is always going to be usually like, it's a jack of all trades sort of thing. Like, what is this song? Sorry? Yay. There we go. Gosh, the comedic timing of the music tonight is making me die. It's so funny. god, dude. You know, I actually don't mind how this Ray is turning out. He actually looks, he looks like my main character, Ray. I mean, you know, he's definitely got like a lot of work, but I think this is a good start to try and make it look more like the in model Ray. He just, I don't know, I think I just made him look really old on accident. Like, he just looks really old in the game. And I mean, I like that. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like trying out new things and having more of like a, you know, probably like a, 30-year-old elf at this point. I mean, elves age differently, so technically he's more like 100 years in elves' years. I don't know. I don't know the compatibility or the chart or whatever it is. Like, I'd have to look up exactly how high elves age in like the D&D lore, but I mean, I don't think it looks bad. I don't know. I'm looking at it from afar, peeking at it. But anyway, I was gonna mention about the art classes though, because this really annoyed me when I was younger. It doesn't annoy me as much now, but like, they put you in this art class. I'm all over the place with these topics. They put you in this art class and they expect you to do like all these like 20 different things. Like, we were doing like shirt pressing, like we were like making a design on a t-shirt at one point. I was like, what? We were making ceramics. We were painting. I've never been a painter. The painting did not come out well. I'm trying to remember what I even painted. If it was even worth looking at anymore. I mean, geez, I can't imagine it looked good. We were doing colored pencils. We were doing chalk. We were doing like graphite, which I'm good with chalk and graphite and pastels in particular. I actually love working with pastels. I haven't worked with them in a very long time, but I really love them. But you know what really bothered me was like the t-shirt press project, because I just could not get it to work. They were like, you had to like stamp the design on like this piece of paper, and then you get this like, I don't remember exactly how they did it, but I just remember it was such a tedious process. It took forever. It took weeks on this project. And at one point, my shirt just completely did not work. The paint was peeling off of it. I was like, what is this? Why are you making me print t-shirts? Like, what is that? Really funny in the context of I absolutely sucked at any project that wasn't just pencil and paper. Because I'm not, I mean, as you can see, I'm not exactly a Picasso or anything. Most of my art comes from the fact that I want to make a story versus have like an innate ability to do art. I just don't. I do try. I do want to, you know, try being good at art, but man, is it difficult. And it's rough out there, man. It's rough. It's so rough. And in the context of like just high school art classes in general, I did not enjoy them. They were always so stressful. We had to do what they call what is it? I am blanking. You go up, you take your project, right? At the end of the week, you take your project and you stand up in front of the whole class. Critique. You do the critique, which is if you're an art student, you literally, you hear the word critique and you're like, okay, I'm done. Like, it's literally like war flashbacks, like standing up in front of the class, showing them my monstrosity that I drew because I had no art skill compared to these people. Like, I was considered the good art student in like a normal class, right? I had like a little bit, maybe what they would consider maybe a higher ability than most. And I wouldn't have even said I was that good. It's just that I knew how to shade with colored pencils. That was what made people think my art was good. It wasn't actually good art. I just learned how to shade and use values at an early age. And because of that, people really liked my art. They were really impressed with it. But when you get to an art class with people who have been doing this for not only longer than you, but have been practicing the right stuff, you start to look a little embarrassed, because you're like, I'm going against people who have been drawing since they were like 5 and have been put into like professional art lessons and literally draw every day, all day. And I drew a lot as a kid. I was filling notebooks left and right. But I wasn't practicing, really. I was just drawing my characters over and over again. And yes, technically you can get better by doing that, but I wasn't improving as fast as it would have been if I was practicing realism and arms and legs and important stuff, right? Not that there's anything wrong with taking it slow. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But in general, I didn't have very much skill compared to the other students, so I would go up there with just the worst art. I mean, it was the worst art of the whole group. It was so embarrassing. And I'd have to stand up there where no one said a thing to me. No one said a thing. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hi. Anyway, though, it was the worst. I was so embarrassed. Because you'd go up there and you'd stand up and you'd put your piece of art up there for everyone in the world to see. And no one would say anything. And I would just stand up there for like a minute. Like my face getting red and stuff. And it was horrible. It was horrible. I can't even believe they made us do that. I'm even just thinking about it right now. It is giving me anxiety because I remember exactly how that felt. I can feel the embarrassment on my cheeks to this day. And I was always shy too. I was quiet. I have social anxiety, right? And it was always hard for me to speak in front of people anyway, but I'd go up there and with my jacket, the same jacket that I wore every single day, even in the summer, and awkwardly show my art. And it was so bad. It was so bad. It has been a long time. How have you been? Welcome back to the stream. As you can hear, I'm ranting about critiques and art because man, I hate critiques. Same. I hate them. Actually the worst part about art class. It's awful. It's awful. And then, you know, if you didn't have any friends in the class, like at least I had friends in the class, so at least sometimes they would like one of my friends, she would go, oh, I really like the way you drew the spider eggs. Like I had a project where I did spider eggs and I was like, thank you. Thanks. You know, thank you for saying something. You saved me. And I would try to do the same for my friends too and be like, I like the way that you I like the way that you did the shading or the colored pencils, right? And I would genuinely like their art because I thought my friends were all way better at art than I was, and they really were. I was not the best in the group at all. I was by far one of the worst artists. I had my own strengths, but it just wasn't in realism, you know? I felt like I was good at expressions and anime art, but my teacher, literally the first day of class was like, I hate anime, don't draw anime, and I was like, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know that art form, that one you like, the one you only draw? None of that. And I was like, good. Yep. That's just the way it works. Most art teachers hate cartoon art. They don't think cartoons are real art. They don't think anime is real art. And I'm like, I just gotta accept that and move on. I will never be able to change most of their minds, and that's okay. But, yeah, it's good to see you're doing good, by the way. That's awesome. I'm just... Man, reeling from that embarrassment. And what happened, it was every week. It was every week of that too. It was every week. Wasn't just like at the end of the month or something. No, it was like every week. I was so embarrassed. I felt so bad. But, you know, it gets better, you know. I wouldn't say I'm exactly a shining, you know, Van Gogh or anything right now, but I like to think that I've gotten a little bit better at art. I like to think that my art's not horrible, you know. I like to think that it's obviously still a long ways away from perfection, and I think that's important to realize and kind of know about yourself. I'm trying to remember what outfit I had him in last. Oh crap, I don't have a direct picture of Ray from Baldur's Gate. I don't. Okay, well, that's okay. I will, yeah, do the placeholder. Yeah. A placeholder. There we go. Yes, perfect already. Wonderful. honestly, yeah, Rose would side with the Goblin Camp, unfortunately. That's just the truth. She's just the Minthara of the group. Oh my god. Fun fact, I have never done an evil playthrough. I probably won't for a while. I've done 3 playthroughs so far. None of them are evil. I try to be evil sometimes. Unfortunately, for someone's approval, you have to do a couple of mean options. Because he's such a baby when it comes to approval that you have to, like, pretend to be mean for a few minutes and then he's okay. Or, like, just take a Astarion out of your group and just place him, like far away so he can't hear what you're saying to everyone. So you won't get that disapproval hit. I do that all the time. It's just like, hey, can you go look at that over there and just leave him and walk away? And then once I'm done with the conversation that I know is going to get disapproval, I come back and I'm like, hey, nothing happened. We're gonna go do this now. And he's like, okay. You know, no, doesn't even suspect a thing. Best part about the game. The disapproval in that game has ruined me. I swear, I am constantly on edge when I pick dialogue options. I am looking at who is in my group. Gale's almost at exceptional. Every single time. Like, I gotta take you out, Gale. I gotta. You can't be in my group if I'm being nice. Okay? You can hit exceptional with Gale in, like, 10 hours. Like, I'm not even joking. If you choose all of the good options, he's at, like, exceptional and everyone else is at neutral. And I'm like, how is this possible? They made it far, far too easy for him. I mean, you gotta give a little something, man. Even, like, Karlach isn't that easy to get approval with. Like, oh my god. Zach's a hard one. Help me think. You know, I don't know. I mean, I could definitely say who reminded me of Rose. Absolutely Orin. But, I mean, Zach? I don't know if I had anyone really remind me of Zach particularly. I guess I don't have him a whole lot of characterized enough. I'd say Gortash would be the only, like, closest comparison. Maybe. That would be the closest I could compare to. He's pretty chill, you know, in some circumstances. But I will say, great game. Definitely makes me just the approvals, dude. Those approvals will get you. I think I'm on my 3rd playthrough right now. I'm doing Bard. Bard's been pretty fun. I like playing Bard characters, but I don't like playing support classes, so it's really difficult for me to enjoy playing support sometimes. I am always the person that chooses the highest damage class in any game. Like, whenever I played, like, Final Fantasy 14 for a while, I always choose DPS, because I was like, I want to do pure damage, baby. I don't want to be a healer. What's that? I want to heal people. No, I did end up playing healer for a while, too. Just because I wanted to give it a try. And it is fun, but I love doing damage. And so when it comes to games like that, or, you know, Skyrim, of course, I always do the heaviest damage. Not that Skyrim really has a support class. I mean, I guess, like, Illusion, what was the other one? There was another one. I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, I guess you could kind of do support in Skyrim. I mean, if you wanted, but I think most of the fun is just being a sneak archer. That they've just made the perfect class, and it's only sneak archer. Only sneak archer. The way it goes, huh? But yeah, like I said, I would like to try maybe streaming games at one point. Not sure. Minecraft went so terribly wrong. I just have to be prepared for it and make sure that I'm got all the like recommendations for the system requirements, make sure that I can actually run it, make sure that it actually works. I'd have to do, you know, some tests in OBS first, because I think that would probably be far more useful. She's such a great villain, though. Oh my god, she is so crazy. I love it. I kind of just have I've noticed that villains of 3s are always sort of the same. You know, you've got the one serious villain. You know, you've got the the big macho villain, the one that's like, oh, he's in charge or she's in charge, right? And then you've got the chiller villain, the one that, like, you know, you could probably see yourself, like, maybe at one point getting a drink with. Like, they're not as serious about everything. They're still evil, of course. They're still a villain. But, like, they're chill and relaxed. And then you got the crazy one. The one that's just absolutely bonkers over yonkers. Insane. They're just crazy all together. Yeah, I always noticed that. And I accidentally did that with Ghost Mask, too, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of made Zack more of the chill villain. Dorthier more of the serious one, who's the only one taking anything seriously, and then you got Rose, who's just Rose. I mean, my goodness. But yeah, with them three, I definitely see the I can definitely see the pattern that, like, a lot of villains tend to be in. Not that it's bad though. It's a great. I really like them as villains. Wish they got more time though. Feel like the game kind of put them in and then didn't really do a whole lot with them. I feel like there could have been more potential, but I won't talk a whole lot about the game in terms of the story because I don't want to spoil anyone. And also, we'll probably just do a different stream where I only talk about Baldur's Gate because, gosh, I have so much to say. So much to say and so little time in the universe. I could talk about that game for hours, but I will hold back. See, I don't know what was up with the other music. This is so much better. I love the comedic timing. It was really funny though. Just hearing just random songs. I really need to get like an actual like playlist of songs that I can play. I just don't want to get copyrighted because I know YouTube's super strict about copyright and stuff, and I'd really love to have songs that weren't going to just get my video claimed. But I mean, if it just gets claimed, I guess it's not that big of a deal. I think it'd just be easier if I had like a bunch of songs I could use that I know wouldn't get copyright claimed or anything. I feel like I draw hair way better on paper. Like, I was drawing something the other day on paper for once. Like, I usually don't. I'd love to get back into doing sketchbooks, but, you know, that's another story. Anyway, I just don't draw, like, non-digitally as much, right? I was drawing hair, and it was just, like, flowing so naturally, and it was so perfect. And I was like, man, this hair looks great. I love how this came out. And then I draw on here, and I just feel like every single strand looks wrong. Like, what's going on there? Especially with characters like this having more curly hair. Of course I had to choose like the curliest option, which I struggle so much with hair already. I love drawing curlier hair, but man, I have a hard time. I feel like I have a hard time portraying it. It just looks wavy. So I'm really going to try to work on that and push myself to do more curly hair. I think that would really help in improving on it. As usual, art's just, there's so much I got to practice still. I feel like it's one of those things that you just never truly, you know, master as much as you start to just understand the rules. You start to just kind of understand how it flows, how it gets better, how it, you know, how you can get better. Most people have ways that, you know, they've noticed their improvement has significantly, like, quickened, is that the word? Or like it's increased quickly, you know, over time? Right? Oh, she would 100%. I wouldn't though. I get way too attached to people in that game. I'm like, nothing will happen to you. My son, I will not let anything happen to you. I love that one cat that you can meet where it's like you go up to them and if you have speak with animals on, you just be like, it's me, my son. I wish you could actually take the cat though. It makes me mad they don't let you take the cats because you see so many cats over the game. Yeah, I usually have, like, I have just completely flat hair, so a lot of the hair I drew growing up was also just kind of flat, straight hair. I do love drawing fluffier hair, and curly hair is fun, but like I said, I really need to work on it. I feel like it just doesn't look curly. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be curly. And so I'm definitely working on that a lot. Like Chloe's supposed to have more curly hair, and I feel like her hair just comes off as more wavy due to the way I draw it. So definitely something I want to improve on. So I have been trying to draw these little circlets you get in the game. I kind of gave up on it after a while because I was like, there's no way. I don't know how do I draw this? So I kind of just simplified it. Doesn't really look like the circlet he wears in the game, but you know, yeah, it'll do. I also make it really like exaggeratively big. I don't think it's actually this big, but yeah, just something I like doing. After I get these next two animacs done, I will have to start brainstorming again, unfortunately, because there's still a lot of art block on certain days. Once I start a video, I'm like, oh man, this is it. Like I've got this idea down. I know what I'm gonna do now. And then I start making it, and then I start brainstorming the next video, and I'm like, I literally can't think. Like it like disappears from my brain. And so still trying to think of other video ideas after. Try not to stress myself out too much about it though, of course, because like we don't want to burn out 2.0. We don't want another one of that. So that's kind of my goal. Dragonborn Bard. Oh no. Oh no. No spoilers, but when I saw that, I was like, oh. I was just like, oh, okay. So that's how this game runs. Okay. Whew. All right. Cry slowly. Really, really sad scene. Wow. That oh my god. Unfortunately, I had already kind of known what was going to happen, but I didn't expect it to really be that like intense of a scene. Like, wow, the game really makes you feel bad. This game loves to make you feel bad about your decisions too. It'll let you know if you made the right one or if you made like the good aligned one, I guess. There isn't any right or wrong decision. Not like in the game standards, but yes, there is morally right and wrong decisions you can make. It will let you know which one you chose very clearly, and it's brutal, dude. I mean, if you do a really bad thing, dude, your companions, oh, you will not hear the end of that. Right? It's, oh man, I love systems like that in video games. I like when the game lets you know, like, hey, you really shouldn't have done that. That was like actually messed up. Like what are you doing? I like it. It's kind of like a call out to the player a little bit, like kind of questioning like their decision making. I like that. I think it's interesting. Obviously, the game's not gonna punish you that harshly. Like it's just like, you know, it's something to think about. And the game goes over a lot of serious topics that are important for people to understand. So yeah, when you make a companion make a decision that they wouldn't normally do, they might feel kind of icky about it. It makes sense, like, you know. Gosh, it would be so fun to stream Baldur's Gate. I don't know if I can even run it, man. I mean, I looked at the requirements. I feel like it'd be like Cyberpunk all over again. Like 2 frames per second, you know? Like obviously Baldur's Gate is designed to be on PC. Obviously they did a great job with it. And with Cyberpunk, I think they simply did not come prepared with the like, what would it be? The innovation? That's not what I don't know the word I'm trying to use here, because I just am really bad at speaking sometimes. But like, I don't think they thought about the performance a whole lot, and I think that's why it was really hard to run versus Baldur's Gate, which just it's upfront about it. It's like you need like 150 gigabytes for this game alone, right? People do solo runs, but I mean, soloing a game like that, man, like, do you know how hard of a time I had on Explorer? I can't even imagine. I think the main thing I did in my game was, like, my new game was the adamantine forge. That's so fun. That's so fun up until you get to that boss. And then you look at the level and you look at the health, and I'm staring back at my 3 mage companions like, oh, I think I'm gonna need to switch you out. Yeah, don't take Gale for that. don't take him for that fight. He's gonna do nothing. Let me tell you. The game does encourage you to switch out companions, but I just tend to stick with the same 3. And I think it's kind of obvious which one of those is always in my party. Astarion never leaves. He's literally always in my party. I try to like push myself to like do different companions, and I just the game makes it so hard. I'm getting better in this one though. I'm really trying different party compositions. You also hear a lot more dialogue with them, so it's nice to experiment. Makes me really wish I had enough like resources, I should say, for a small video game one day. Gosh, video games are so much work. They're so much work, but like maybe like a little I've always wanted to do one of the what is it, like Steins Gate, like the visual novels. Always wanted to do a visual novel. Don't know if I ever will get around to it, but I've always wanted to do visual novels. Ever since I was younger, honestly, ever since I knew what they were. Whew. Do that a little bit. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Hang on. I'm gonna trim that. But yeah, I would love to do something like that someday. Even like a little game like Omori. Like, I love the style of that game. I would love to make something like that. It would just require a different skill, for sure. Different skill set of creating a video game, because I have no idea how that works. No idea. Not a single brain cell of knowledge of that. I can only assume so much. I know it's a lot of work, first and foremost. But even like Stardew Valley, I think was only made by like one single person. A lot of games are made by a single person, and they come out really well. So there's always a chance that I'll be able to do something like that. I'll just have to have the skill and the resources to do that. And you know, like I said, I know nothing about video games. I'm sorry, Arrow. Have a good night, though. Thank you for joining the stream, and I'll see you later. Speaking of which, I haven't really eaten dinner. I'm not really hungry right now. I just kind of realized I'm a little thirsty. Like, I feel like I could go for like a sweet treat, but this music reminds me of something out of Chowder for some reason. I don't know, I'm kind of digging it. It's actually really, like, nice. Chowder was such a good show, man. I love that show. I really need a clothing reference before I finish off with the coloring, because I don't have his clothes reference. Alright, well, see, I was supposed to move the files to my computer, some of the recordings I've had of the game. Would have given me some references. Would have been really useful, but unfortunate. Hey, I got a drawing done though. Yay. Woohoo! You know, got a little drawing done. I think that's good for now. I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll just save the coloring for when I have a better reference. Yeah, go back to just chatting for now. Finish up for the night and kind of wind down. But yeah, once again, by the way, I cannot believe Gale's boots, dude. Thank you guys so much. I didn't expect any video to hit such a high number, but I really appreciate it. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Like, 10K people clicked on that. Like, what the heck? I don't even know how to comprehend that, honestly. It's kind of, I try not to think about stuff like that because I start getting anxiety and stuff, like in a good anxiety, an excited anxiety, but like a really like kind of like scary one too, because it's like, man, it's out there. I can't stop that. Like, there's just people watching it. Like, people watch my stuff. That's crazy. I don't know how to feel about it. But yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It was a fun video to make. I absolutely love the D&D podcast they were doing with their characters and stuff. Oh, I love it. All the voice actors, they seem like they have so much fun with their companion voices and stuff. You can tell they all really love their characters too, and they put so much effort. And God, Neil Newman, dude, he did such a good role. He did such a good job. At the end of his quest, dude, I was crying. I was sobbing. It was so emotional. It was so beautiful. God, it's such a good quest. Like, he did a fantastic job. I mean, literally one of the best performances I've ever seen in a video game. Really, he went all out. I didn't even know he was in a lot of the other video games too, like that I had known. Like, I didn't know he was in Detroit Become Human. I thought that was really cool. I did not know that. It was a long time ago that I actually played Detroit Become Human. That was like 2018 or so. You know, I've been doing my playthroughs this right. I've been trying to do other characters, but I cannot get into them yet. Like, I've been trying to roleplay as other characters. Like, I tried Isaac, and I was just like, you know, Ray just has a certain feeling to him. The voice actor I chose is actually... I need to look up his name because he's my favorite Tav voice actor. I think it's male Tav 5, I think. Like, 5 voice actor. Don't know his name, like I said, but he does a fantastic job voice acting. His voice is so good in the game. I love that they give your Tav a bit of voice lines, too. They have a couple voice lines. They cut out a lot of the like scenes where your character actually speaks, and I kind of wish they kept them in. I actually do wonder if Larian will ever release like a definitive, well, they kind of released like a definitive edition already, didn't they? They released like a little, like they released some like new Bard songs and stuff, but I really want them to try and maybe release some of the cut content. I know Minthara also had a lot of voice lines that were removed. But, you know, I really love the, like, looking at the early access stuff. Really cool. Hoping one day they'll maybe add some of that cut content. But they could only add so much. Like, they could only add so much. It takes forever already to make a video game like that. And we're not going to have a game like that for a long time coming. Like Baldur's Gate, like that's not gonna come around for a long time. It's a once in like a century. No, century's the right word, right? I'm sorry. I just don't want to sound silly. I'm sorry. I gotta Google this. No, it's not the right word. It's not the right word. Every 10 years, right? Every 10 years is the word I'm trying to say. Like. Is there gonna be a game like this in 10 years, you know? A lot of people think, or are hyped about GTA 6 too. That's gonna be coming soon. That's really exciting to think about. Can't wait to try that out. I know it's gonna be crazy. It's Rockstar. They always go all out with their games, so I'm expecting it to be good. Try not to expect too much though, because I also really expected certain games to be good. And then I'd go into them and I'd be like, oh, wow, this is, not sure how I feel about that, you know? Not very many games do that to me, though. I tend to just not care a whole lot about the hype. I didn't even really know what Baldur's Gate was before I played it. Didn't really get into the hype of the early access or anything. But I do think that it's fantastic. And like I said, definitely one of those games that you're not going to see for a long time. Skyrim, I feel like, was kind of the game in the early 2010s that did that. You know, it really set not just a standard, but it really innovated a game that, not even just games in general, but like genres and RPGs in general. It really went all out, and even to this day, it still is being played. It still holds up. People are still loving Skyrim. And I mean, there's just not games like that as much as, there's games where they're like shooters, or they're games like battle royales, Those are fun in and of themselves. But there's sometimes a game that comes around that just shakes the world for a bit. And I think that was Baldur's Gate. And I think it was also Skyrim at one point. And it was also probably other games too. Like I know probably at the time Uncharted, Mass Effect, Dragon Age Origins, those all were probably huge. And landmarks in the gaming world especially. For me, that game, the game that shook my world was Halo 3, right? I'm a huge Halo fan. I've always loved Halo. Been my favorite game series for a long time. Don't like the newer games, unfortunately, but up to Halo Reach, that was my favorite series. I loved Halo. I replayed it all the time. I was always going through the campaigns. It was my childhood. I played that game constantly. And when I played Halo 3, it changed my worldview. Man, it changed me. It was so good. I thought it was the best game in the world at that time. I think I played it in 2011. I had just saved up enough money to buy myself an Xbox 360. And Halo 3 was the very first game I played on it, was the very first game I finished on it. It was my childhood. Going back and replaying Halo 3 now is very, very sentimental. It means a lot to me. It's one of those games that you play and you're just like, I remember exactly how I felt while I was playing this as a kid, as now, Really great game. Really good stuff. I'll think about streaming, for sure. I would like to think about streaming it. I don't know yet. I will see what I can do. Would be fun to try something different though, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for now because my throat hurts. I've been talking for a while and it's also been like over an hour. And so I'll go ahead and wrap up for now. This was a weird stream, by the way. I didn't mention it, but it was a Saturday. This isn't really a typical day for me to stream. I've kind of just been streaming whenever it's at the I guess not just convenience, but just whatever's easier in my schedule. I am back in school, so I have college classes and, back working and stuff like that. And just got over COVID. Yeah, a lot of stuff just happened. But I will be back. I guess I'll try to aim for Fridays or Saturdays now. I guess whatever really works for me. I really don't mind either way. Let me turn down this music. Jesus. Like a party in here. But thank you all for coming to the stream. I hope to make videos, have those videos coming out soon. Can't promise when they're gonna come out because I don't know with my schedule and everything I gotta do, but I will see you guys later and enjoy the rest of your nights. And I will maybe also try to post some fan arts and drawings and stuff soon and give you guys something fun to look at while I work on videos. And it's been a really fun stream as usual. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining me. And I will see you guys not next week, but next week after that. In 2 weeks. I'll do stream in 2 weeks. And then we'll see if I can try to do Baldur's Gate. That would actually be really fun. Don't know yet. Kind of just one of those things that we'll see in due time. And I'll make an announcement if I can get it running or not for streaming. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Have a good night. And yeah, bye.